Talkline Network Radio, America's longest-running Jewish broadcast network, the voice of the Jewish community. Welcome to the podcast. Tuned in for this episode of the podcast. We're going to interview some of the greatest and most influential minds in our field. Listening to Talkline with Zev Brenner, America's premier Jewish broadcast on the air since 1981.
Now we're back. It's an annual event. We have them at least once a year. Grandfather Shmuel, Zadie Shmuel as he's known, but he's actually Shmuel Sackett. He's the founder of Am Yisroel Chai. But also his dream was to have a Dream Raffle. Came up with it 7 years ago, doing very well. Other people have copied it, but nobody has come through to realizing the dream as Shmuel has. In fact, the money raised last year is going to fruition tomorrow. We're going to see the results. So Shmuel, welcome back. Good to speak with you. And how are things been going for you?
It's been a challenging year. I don't like to use the word difficult, but it has been. It's challenging. As we speak, my son is serving in Gaza, and my son-in-law is as well.
Oh,
and
boy.
We're very proud of both of them, but obviously nervous. But Bezrat Hashem, may Hashem watch them and all of our holy Chayalim.
Amen. They're doing such amazing work, doing God's work, and hopefully they'll come to a winning and getting things accomplished. I know they're close, but there's still some work to be done, unfortunately.
Correct.
You came up with the Dream Raffle. This was your dream 7 years ago. So what did you come up with? Did you had a dream one night and said, I'm going to do a raffle and give away something? What happened? What made you have this dream?
What made me have this dream
Joseph?
is that it's not just my dream. It's every Jew's dream to live in Yerushalayim. I mean, I haven't been Zoch. I live in Herzliya. I'm very happy, no complaints, but Yerushalayim is the dream, no question. And that's why we decided we're going to have a raffle for fundraising purposes, and we'll tell you a very exciting thing, as you mentioned, where the money is going. People won't believe what they're about to hear. But I didn't just want to raffle off, I don't know, a car or some kind of a crazy vacation. We're going to raffle off the dream, and the dream is a luxury apartment in the heart of Yerushalayim that belongs to you forever. It's listed in what's called the Tabu, Israel's land registry, in your name forever, which means after 120, you pass it to the descendants and so on. It's yours forever. That's the dream raffle.
What about Yovel, the Jubilee year?
We'll worry about that when we get to it.
Comes. Okay, no problem. No, it's a great thing. You give people a chance to live in Israel, to live in Yerushalayim. And I think some of your winners have been from outside Israel, correct?
That is very interesting. The first 4 years were outside of Israel. 3 of those 4 were in the United States. Believe it or not, Hawaii guy won the first year. The second year was Toronto. Third year was New Jersey. Fourth year was San Diego, California. And then year number 5, it moved to Chavez Darom. And last year was a guy from Beitar Elite who's living in the apartment. I mean, not the apartment we're raffling off now. It's a different one, a new one. By the way, this year, it's a brand new apartment directly from the Kablan, the building contractor. It's not even finished yet. It'll be finished literally in about 2-3 weeks. So the person who wins this $1 million apartment will get a brand new apartment, never been lived in before.
How many people actually participate in the raffle?
Last year, we about 12,000 people, bought tickets. And someone says, "Is there a limit?" I say, "No. I hope there'll be 12 million people." He said, "Well, then my chances will be low." I said, "That's your problem." But in any case, we'll probably sell around 13,000 tickets this year as well.
No, very nice. And it goes to this year, especially, is going to a good cause. The money raised is going to come to fruition tomorrow. Tell us about it.
Right. So it's exciting. But we've been working on this project for a year. Now, what I'm about to tell you are from funds from last year's Dream Raffle number 6. As you know, we started the raffle last year in September 2023, and then October 7th hit, and you could fill in the rest of the sentence. We obviously stopped things for about 2 months. Everybody was in a state of shock, in a state of war, and we all know the terrible tragedy that happened on that horrific day. And what happened was, I'm very close with several people in the city of Sderot. We've supported several projects in Sderot, and I texted them on that Saturday night, October 7th, just a few words. Ech ani yachol la'azor. How can I help? That's all I said. How can I help? And they got back to me after a while, and they said that they were doing that. The ambulances were out all day picking up, unfortunately, corpses or picking up injured people, but they didn't have a bulletproof ambulance in all of Sderot, not one. And city that had been hit by horrific rockets for years. And when I say bulletproof, also armor-proof, rocket-proof. And during the course of one of their runs early in the morning on that October 7th, the ambulance came under fire. Bullets went into the ambulance through the side of the door and in through the back of the seat of the driver into his back. So the driver of the ambulance became a seriously injured patient and was in the hospital the next 4 months fighting for the ability to walk again. A lot of stories. In any case, I said, we're going to donate a bulletproof armored ambulance. We raised the funds, Dream Raffle, and to make a very long story very short, the official ribbon cutting ceremony of the new bulletproof armored ambulance in Sderot will be, God willing, tomorrow.
Mazel tov. That's such a nice accomplishment.
This is so exciting. The mayor of Sderot will be there, Knesset members, the chief rabbi. This is something that I'm proud of, all the wonderful people that purchase tickets and help. This is really going to save lives. Hopefully, it'll just be used for pregnant women rushing to a hospital to give birth to new Jewish babies. But in case of a bad situation, this will be the one and only bulletproof ambulance that the city of Sderot will now own, and we're very excited about it.
You know, something very interesting. You would think, but I know it's expensive, that the ambulances in Israel should all be bulletproof and armor-proof, at least especially in certain areas.
Agreed, but there's a lot of things that should be done, and if we're going to wait for those things to happen, well, then it's not good. So in the meantime, we put the funds together, and it's not just a regular ambulance. It's called a Tipul Nimratz. It's one of these intensive care unit ambulances where they could basically perform an operation inside the ambulance. It has all the bells and whistles, brand new, all the technology, and cost over 1 million shekel, well over 1 million shekel. And it's, Baruch Hashem, very, very proud to be presenting this and cutting the ribbon tomorrow night.
Wonderful. That's really a big accomplishment. By the way, Sderot, of course, was so drastically affected by October 7th. What's the population like now? I'm sure it's been much reduced compared to what it was prior to October 7th.
Let me surprise you by saying that 90% of the people who left Sderot because of the whole situation returned to their homes, and 400 new families moved in.
Wow, I didn't know.
I know
that.
it sounds, yeah.
It sounds counterintuitive.
It's wonderful. 100% truth. I don't exaggerate. 400 brand new families have entered Sderot. So yet yesterday, there was the Tseva Adom, the red alert yesterday, and 3 missiles fell in Sderot yesterday. Now, where these chayes are getting these missiles from after a year and a half of us hitting them hard, that's a good question that I don't have an answer to, but it just proves why they need a bulletproof ambulance.
Right. Now, by the way, Sderot has 90% of the people back and 400 new families moving, which is amazing. Correct. I think surrounding areas that were hit, do they have the same kind of people moving back, or it's just Sderot, unique to this community?
Yeah, it's unique to Sderot. I was last week in Kibbutz Re'im, where it was also hit very, very hard on October 7th. And I had, again, from Dream Raffle funds last year, we had written 120 brand new mezuzot, and we had the actual cover made in Gush Etzion area in a place called Migdal Oz, and we came to present 120 brand new mezuzot, and I spoke, and it's a completely secular kibbutz. I don't think there's more than 3-4 homes that had mezuzot. They're just completely let's put it this way, in a different place. And I said to them, listen, we're not here to force religion down your throat. Those that want a mezuzah, take. And if you don't want, don't take. Guess what, Zev?
Everybody took.
Single person took. Without
because it was free, but it's nice to see. It's important.
Everyone took. Now there, only 60% of the people came back. Look, I can't say I blame them. I can't say I blame them. They went through trauma. I mean, do you want to walk around all day at keyboard? So my brother was killed here, my friend was killed there. It's not an easy sight, and we definitely have to build and grow. I'm sure new families will come there, but the existing ones, I'm actually even surprised that it's as high as 60%. But that's where they're at.
It's so hard because here they had such a wonderful life. And I've read some of the accounts and seen some of the videos. They had a wonderful life up until October 7th, which was shattered. And so many people were killed in their community. So many were abducted. It's hard to go back to normal life with all those memories that are there.
Correct. So we don't judge. We're here to just help, to lend support, to show unity, to hug, and to give mezuzah to the ones that want. And like I said, they all took. So it was a nice event.
It's a beautiful thing. I think a lot of them may absorb more religion because of what happened. It's when you try. Fortunately, it's it takes such a tragedy to bring people to appreciate our religion.
Correct. And we're a strong people, a strong nation, and I've said this several times, Zev, and that is, notwithstanding the horrific events of October 7th, today as a nation in Israel, we're in a much better place than we were on October 6th, 2023. If you remember then, there was terrible disunity, crazy infighting, and they were talking of possible civil war. I mean, there was some crazy things going on, and just to mention a few, and today we're in a different place. So
is it because I see it's fraying somewhat in some areas.
In some areas, but I like to look at the positive, and I'm telling you, we're moving in the right direction.
Sackett is our guest. He is the head of Am Yisroel Chai. He came up with the Dream Raffle 7 years ago. They're dedicating a ambulance in Sderot, a bulletproof ambulance, a rocket-proof ambulance worth over 250,000 American dollars, or almost 1 million shekels.
$327,000
okay, depends what the ratio of the shekel to the dollar is. Okay, but it's still a major accomplishment, and also he does a lot, giving out mezuzahs and other things to keep our people on track. Now
that was last year. Let me tell you.
Before I get to what you're doing this year, people have copied the Dream Raffle. Are you happy that people have taken your idea and run away with it? Has it affected your productivity?
It hasn't affected, and I'm happy. You know what they say: the best form of a compliment is when people copy you. Correct? And that's fine. Believe me, if there's enough causes out there that I can't help everybody, not even close. So if you want to run a raffle to help your cause, gesund to hate. But I'm just warning the people out there that there's no raffle like the Dream Raffle. We have a lawyer sitting on everything. We have an accountant connected to every dollar that comes in and out. And we have a rabbinic board of From Rabbanim who give us a psak in everything we do. And it's 100% legitimate. Some other raffles, without mentioning names in terms of apartments here or there, I'm not even sure there is an apartment, and I'm not even sure anybody actually received it. But they'll have to make that cheshbon with Avinu Shabashamayim. I can only speak for myself. 100% authentic, real, thedreamraffle.com. And remember, Zev, thanks to you, we got the Yisroel. Remember, you told me that a few years ago.
I remember, yes. I said you have to cover all bases. You have to make sure the spellings of your name.
You can spell it Yisrael. You can spell it Yisroel.
No, it's important because people, listen, I've run campaigns for people where they spelled it off and they didn't get the same kind of response because people spell it differently than the way they spelled it. And I said, you got to have at least, if you're going to spell it differently, have at least the spelling which most people use. Otherwise, you lose out.
Right. So we did that. And just Am Yisroel Chai, the Dream Raffle, the dreamraffle.com. That's the Dream Raffle site. Am Yisroel Chai.com is our Am Yisroel Chai site. And you'll see the wonderful things we do. And, of course, you could purchase a raffle ticket.
Now, you mentioned that some people may not even have an apartment to give away, or nobody actually wins an apartment. Is it regulated in Israel? Do they look at the charities and make sure that things are done kosher?
Not as close as they should, but it's not an Israeli raffle. I mean, the Am Yisroel Chai Foundation is an American 501c3. It's not an Israeli amuta, a nonprofit organization. It's nonprofit in the States. And therefore, it's not regulated in Israel, but it's the type of thing where, if you're an honest guy, you need to run an honest operation. And I could testify to my own organization and all the people that are working with us and making phone calls where we're 100% straight above board and, lifnim mishura tadin, as they say.
No, and listen, and the proof is in the pudding, or the proof is in the ambulance. At least that's for last.
Correct.
For this year, you got something else cooking.
So last year, the funds were going primarily to people in what we call Otef Aza, the Gaza envelope area, those Yeshuvim and the Kibbutzim, and of course Sderot as well, who were hit in the southern part of Israel. This year, we're focused on the northern part of Israel. Cities like Kiryat Shmona, Metula, Nitu'ah, the Golan Heights. Do you realize, I don't think people realize that the Golan has been hit with 2,000 missiles since October 7th. 2,000 missiles. And who's helping them? And when I say them, the farmers, the businesses, the organizations, the communities, various people that have lost their parnasa. So this year, the Dream Raffle, the 7th annual Dream Raffle, is focused on helping people in northern Israel. And I have to tell you a tragic story that literally, and I'm not exaggerating, when I was talking to this fellow yesterday, he's telling me his tsaras, and I'm crying, literally crying. And that is, he's a fellow who lives in Kiryat Shmona. He has a few tzimmers. Tzimmers are these little cabins that people like to rent out. He had a nice business going. He also has a business of messenger service, delivering things between, a lawyer delivery service, courier service, I guess is the best word, between lawyers and people and the courts. He was fine, religious guy. He's actually a Kohen, and everything's fine. Wife and 4 kids. For the last 16 and a half months, they're living in a hotel room, one room, in Tel Aviv.
Most of these kids.
With how old are his kids?
That's what these kids, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so his kids are teenagers.
Teenagers, okay.
Teenagers, okay. And 4 kids, parents, in a hotel room in Tel Aviv. I guarantee you, after a month in the Waldorf, you would go crazy. In the Waldorf, in Yerushalayim, you go crazy. Let alone a little, 2-star, maybe 3-star hotel in Tel Aviv. And he has no parnasa because he was doing tzimmers and the courier service in Kiryat Shmona. What is he doing in Tel Aviv? While he was away, his tzimmers were hit with 2 katyushas, completely destroying them. And he's telling me he's really in a bad way. And he said, but you know what? I'm a religious man. I'm keeping my faith. In the hotel where he's living for the last 16 and a half months are other families also from Kiryat Shmona. I think they took over the whole hotel. He said 3 people in those last 16 months, adults, have committed suicide.
Oh my, terrible.
3.
Terrible.
Because when you don't have a parnasa, all right, so the government is covering their living costs. In other words, they don't have the hotel's giving them food and shelter. What if the kid wants some money? What about clothing? What about anything else you have? Insurance, other things? Nothing. He's just walking around all day the streets of Tel Aviv. He says 2 days a week he's working as a supervisor or something on the light rail in Tel Aviv. I mean, it's just something to do something and to make a couple of shekels. So this year's Dream Raffle is helping guys like this fellow and other people, farmers, who are trying to replant, restart their businesses. And that's where funds are going from this year's Dream Raffle 7th year.
You're giving seed money to the farmers to get to restart it again. How much money looking to raise for this project?
Look, it's a type of thing where every dollar that we get after marketing costs and so on, it goes to these causes. There's nobody on staff on Am Yisroel Chai, nobody, and we have legal costs, accounting costs, and marketing expenses, the website. But in terms of the overwhelming majority of the funds that are raised go to these programs. Whatever comes in, we give out. I mean, I would love to bring in $10 million because every day I'm getting between 2 and 3 phone calls, literally every single day, from people that are crying to me over the phone. Just yesterday, today. Yesterday was this guy Cohen. Today, I received a call from a woman whose husband he's a top fighting guy. He's a top guy in the army. So he's been in the army for close to 300 days, and they're farmers. She's with the little ones. She can't take care of the field. Their field wasn't hit by any rockets or anything. But if you don't take care of a field and water it and fertilize it and plant it and protect it against the elements and the animals, she emailed me pictures of the field. It's gone. Halach, finished, kaput. So her husband is hoping to finish up his army service in 2 weeks, and he has to get things started again. So, I mean, I could go on and on. You get the point. We need to help these guys, and this is how we're doing it, by selling tickets to the Dream Raffle.
From what period to what period on a general basis every year?
Basically, we start the Dream Raffle in around September, and we have the drawing on Rosh Chodesh Adar. That's what actually this year it's on Gimel Adar. You can buy tickets until Rosh Chodesh Adar, which is March 1st, and the actual drawing will be Bezrat Hashem on March 3rd. Bezrat Hashem.
And came up with the Dream Raffle and giving the ambulance a bulletproof ambulance, which is what's so necessary to Sderot. And I'm happy to hear that people move back to Sderot, because you're reading people who understandably don't want to move back to these communities that were so hard hit by these terrorists because of all the bad memories and family members that are not there. You look at a table and remember sitting with them and they're not there anymore. It's very painful for them.
It is. I was just also recently in Kfar Aza. They haven't even decided what they're doing there. You see burnt houses. You see such destruction. It's painful. It's very, very painful. But we have to focus on how we can help, and how we can rebuild, and how we could bring light to these areas and these people that have had a lot of darkness in their lives.
And Sderot, did they rebuild some of the burnt houses or some of the houses that were damaged?
There wasn't so much burnt houses. What they're rebuilding is the big police station. There was the big battle in the police station. That was completely knocked down. And in that place of the police station, they built a monument. I believe 70 or 71 people from Sderot were murdered on that day. Either 70 or 71. Yeah, in one day. I mean, that's incredible. And so they're building a brand new police station. It's not finished yet. And everywhere you drive around the city, you see, walls with bullet holes, these crazy tires. They were just shooting like crazy from the big, the Jeeps and the guns, the big mag guns like you see in the movies, but it wasn't a movie, it was real life, shooting up things. And but the yeshivas are open, the kids are back in school. There's laughter in the street. The restaurants have opened again. And that's, I told my wife, I said, you know what? Tomorrow we're going to this event. It's starting at 7 o'clock, obviously Israel time, tomorrow night in Sderot. I said to my wife, let's get there at 5 and do a little shopping in Sderot. I mean, there's nothing there that we can't buy here, but, you need a pair of socks. Let's help them out in Sderot a little bit.
It's also an economically depressed area. It's not a wealthy area.
It's never been a wealthy area. And then, for a year to be outside your home more. So let's just shop. Let's get a broom and a mop and the basic stuff that you need for home. Let's just buy it in Sderot and help them out. So
Shmuel Sackett, thank you for what you do. The organization called Am Yisroel Chai, no matter how you spell it, it still leads to Am Yisroel Chai.
Correct.
And you can use that as your slogan as well. And they do the Dream Raffle for the 7th year doing the Dream Raffle. And last year's Dream Raffle has bought an ambulance, a armored car ambulance with a full operational facility inside for the Sderot, which is a major, major thing. So, Shmuel, thank you. If people want to learn more about Am Yisroel Chai and the raffle, how can they do so?
So there's amyisraelchai.com or the dreamraffle.com. And right now we're offering 1+1, buy one ticket, get two. And there's also an extra bonus raffle where in addition to winning the apartment, you could win $12,000 in a separate raffle, which you don't have to pay anything extra for. We automatically enroll you if you buy tickets in the next 3 weeks. So we're trying to make it exciting. The money goes to what I think is terrific causes. And who knows, maybe when we present the winner, he'll say, I heard your interview on Zev Brenner's Talkline. And man, that'll be great.
How about we get a winner from us?
Now, I'm saying that'll be good if the guy wins.
Yeah. That'll be wonderful.
All right, next time you come to Israel, we'll go to the apartment. And we'll have some apple pie. I don't know, and some shawarma.
We did a live broadcast from a kosher Dunkin' Donuts in Queens the other week, and the first person, and we're giving away free coffee for a year. The first person online was one of our listeners, and the last person online was one of our listeners too. So that was nice to see. So I'm hopefully one of our listeners will win a Dream Raffle.
That would make me very happy.
Make me very happy too, especially if we get to stay there.
That's right.
Anyway, Shmuel, keep on. May God give you the strength to keep on doing the important work for Am Yisroel. Really magnificent, and the fact that you're helping out people who are—that's the biggest form of charity, helping people who don't have a job, that can't make ends meet, and helping them, and so they can get back on their feet. That's the most important thing. So, thank you.
Our pleasure. It's an honor. It's a zchut, and it's a privilege to help God's chosen nation.
Thank you for tuning to Talkline with Zev Brenner, America's premier Jewish broadcast, the pulse beat of the Jewish community.
For continuous Jewish programs, TalklineNetwork.com, or our 24-hour-a-day listen line at 641-741-0389. For past shows, you can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, YouTube, Instagram, and all major podcast platforms, or jewishpodcast.org. Thanks for listening to the TalklineNetwork.com.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Great job as usual.
Thank you. Please.